के
Senthil Kumar ji.
आपका बहुत बहुत
Vanakkam, Chairperson. The President had quoted from Thirukural, Karka Kasadara, Karpavai, Katrapen, Nirka Adarku Taga, which simply translates into stand by what you learn. The question is, does the government stand by the ideals of the Constitution by its founding fathers? There was a mention of Dr. Ambedkar's quote, "My ideal would be a society based on liberty, equality, and fraternity." Democracy is not merely a form of government. It is essentially an attitude of respect and reverence towards one's fellow men. Reality doesn't substantiate the above ideals. Freedom Houses in the Freedom in the World report has downgraded India's status from free country to a partly free country after judging it on various political rights and civil liberties. The respect and reverence is something unknown to this government, displayed brazenly during the peaceful protest against the farm laws. Regarding GST, the government says that the GST collection has consistently remained above rupees 1 lakh crore during last several months, but the states are yet to receive. In particular, Tamilnadu is yet to receive 16,725 crores of GST with the compensation for the financial year. There was a mention of the cochlear implant surgery during the President's address, which finds a reference. This one was in India. It was first established and implemented free of cost by Dr. Kalanja, the visionary leader in Tamil Nadu in the year 2010. This shows the socio-economic path that the DMK has given. During the President's address, there was a reference to the freedom fighter Vavu Chidambaram, but there was no tableau or float displayed in the freedom fighters of Vavu Chidambaram, Velu Nachiyar, and Mahakavi Bharadiyar. But in fact, we had great freedom fighters like squirrels, the body of a cow with a human head, and men clad in saffrons being paraded on Republic Day. This hurt the sentiments of the Tamil pride. And this pride was in fact restored by our Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, having the Tamil freedom fighters in the tableau float in the Tamil Nadu, and which was supposed to be just a 5-minute event, has now turned into a 1-month event all along Tamil Nadu, which has been showcased. Regarding judiciary, it forms the 4 pillars of the Indian democracy along with the legislature, the executive, and the press. But of recent times, the pillars of judiciary at some particular places have some particular judges have a political color to it. Few years back, we had seen 2 judges of a particular caste go and attend a caste-based conference, and they had been just invited because of their status as judges of the High Court, as chief guests. And more recently, a particular judge is being approached by a particular political party for bails and for other transfer of cases to CBI, whereas the basic prayer of the client itself was just to seek a CBCID probe. I also have the opinion that judges pronounce the verdicts based upon the Constitution, the law, and the amendments. But of recently, we have come to see that judges are quoting references from Hindi films and Tamil films and giving verdicts. This sets a wrong precedence. Now we see law college students going to libraries. Do this government want them to go to the film video libraries and OTT platforms to search for judgments? And regarding the national education policy, so the goal of the government in the national education policy is to have a gross enrollment ratio of 50%. This has already been achieved by Tamil Nadu, whereas India's gross national enrollment ratio is around 24.6. We are much ahead of the American gross enrollment ratio. Why is it that the central government is seen to thrust out the national education policy upon us? We have set principles and we have set models, the Dravidian principle models, which are successful models. If it wants to implement them for India to become a developed state, let them implement Tamil Nadu's model throughout the state. But instead, why is it being thrust upon us? We totally reject it. If they want, they can go implement it in Gomutra states, which they are very keen upon. And coming to the, recently today in Kundappa Government College in Karnataka, women children wearing hijabs were not allowed inside the government college gates in Karnataka. Why was it done? Because yesterday saffron-clad people had gone inside and they had threatened and they had this thing. The government should at once take action upon them. Sir, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is a very amicable person. Sir, I'll finish in 2 minutes. Is a very amicable person. He's a man of few words and he's a man of action. He has brought in the All India quota for reservation for OBC 50%. He has formed an All India Federation of Dravidian Forum for Social Justice. He has he is against the transfer of, sir, I'm just concluding in a minute. I'm just concluding in a minute. And he's against the transfer of IAS officers, which is state infringement and this thing. But sir, our Chief Minister's goal is to not to compete with states in Tamilnadu, in India. Our aim is to form a roadmap in the world. We are competing against the developed countries.
Thank
so
you
I'm just finishing this. I'm just finishing this, sir. So our this thing is not that. A person from the BJP had said that M.K. Stalin is more dangerous than Kalanjar Karnataka. Sir, yes, sir. Just I'm concluding with this, sir. But I would like to say, sir, if the state rights are infringed upon, Stalin is more dangerous than any other chief minister who has ruled Tamil Nadu.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much for affording me this opportunity to take part in the discussion of the thanks motion to the presidential address to the joint session of the Parliament.